brief about the U.S. Navy SEALs. So, brief history. They are part of a five-community Navy, the Navy SEALs, EOD, SWO, subs, and aviation. They were established in 1942 in the late World War II era in November, where they had their first mission called Operation Torch. They were made to be a beach reconnaissance team, which is like kind of like a Marine on steroids, to storm a beach or to go in the dead of night and take care of business. Phil H. Buckley was part of their first team, and he's named the father of naval special warfare. Mission set. So they have three essential missions. Reconnaissance, which is basically like a spy going in the dead of night to learn the land navigation, learn how many enemies are there, learn buildings and things like that. Things that would help the mission or even hurt the mission to make them more successful. Rescues. Most of the military personnel or even ambassadors and things like that that have been taken by enemies are rescued by Navy SEALs because they are the best at what they do in hostage recovery. Assassinations. Now we all know the most famous mission, Operation Trident, which is where they killed Osama bin Laden in his facility, and that happened by Navy SEALs because of their specialties. SEALs today. They have bases all over the country on the east and west coast. They have one in Virginia called the J. Blake Center, which is a joint expeditionary force base. They have one on the west coast, which is in Coronado, California, where they have their most intense training, which is where you become a Navy SEAL. The numbers aren't that many. They have about 3,500, which is a very small number if you really think about it. Mainly enlisted personnel and about, give or say, like 40 to 50 officers. But this is the basic underwater demolition SEAL training, which is like their initial boot camp. It has three different phases. First phase is like your most intense physically tasking phase. Second phase is about the same, but a little bit more into like technique. And then your final phase, which is mainly technique, but still high intense training. Hell Week is in the first phase. It's in week 4 of the 7-week phase. And it is where they weed out the weakest, the most ill-willed people who can't handle the training. And finally, the description of Bed Buds is a very intense interview where they see how far can you put your body above your mind. SQT, which is SEAL qualification training. That is where you actually learn to become a SEAL. They found out that you are fit enough. They found out you have the will to do it. Now they're teaching you how to do it. And these are a few of their different criteria that they'll be going over. Weapons training, which is where they do small weapons training, your M4s, your M9s, things like that, where you would be using them constantly. Next, small unit tactics, which is where you will get your SEAL team, 4 to 6 guys, going in through buildings, working on those things that will actually keep you alive in the field of battle. Land navigation. Not everybody has the GPS to take them to wherever they have to go, so you get dropped off, you gotta know where you're going. So they teach you how to use a compass, the stars, whatever they need to use, how to read a map, basically. Demolitions. The D in BUDS doesn't stand for anything but demolitions. They destroy submarines, blow up walls, things like that. Various different demolition tactics using C4s and other small explosives like frag grenades. Cold weather training. This is where they take you to Alaska, work with the snow, work in high mountain peaks, things like that, where the air is thin, hard, and very unbearable weather conditions where a SEAL really gets its grit. Medical skills. Every SEAL has to be able to perform basic medical needs to themselves. Let's say you get shot, stabbed, whatever the case may be. You have to be able to take care of yourself so that you can take care of the rest of your team. And finally, maritime operations, taking over a boat. Just being on a ship just regularly because, like we said, they are still a part of the U.S. Navy, even though they do a lot of ground tactics. But maritime operations is very keen. And finally, in conclusion, the SEALs are the most respected and most feared operational force to be reckoned with in the entire world. You can find them on YouTube, Netflix, whatever you want. There's hundreds of documentaries, but they are Very serious.